say that it was fully pressurized. If one of those three things is wrong, we need to find another one. Okay? Because we're not going to go into a fire and get faulty fire extinguisher. Okay? So once we're happy with that, we need to test it. So we're going to remove the tamper tag, we're going to remove the pin, we're going to take the nozzle out, and we're going to pull the trigger. But we've got to make a decision on where we're going to point this. Okay? We're testing it because we want to know that something comes out the end. But the other thing that's really important that we want to know is how far it's going. So we never test an extinguisher by pointing it at the floor. We look for something that is vertical, we point the nozzle at it, we squeeze the trigger, and we adjust our position to and from the target so that we get the range of the extinguisher. That will tell us how close to the fire we need to be. Okay? Now once we know that, and we know that it's working, we're then going to take it back to our door where the fire is. Okay? Same procedure again. Back of the hand, take cover, below the door handle, cover the door handle if it's steel, open it half an arm's length, and just double check it is at the same state as it was when you left it, and nothing has changed. If it's at the same state, then in we go with our fire extinguisher. We know how close to be because we've tested the range. We pull the trigger and we sweep the nozzle left to right, pointing at the fire. Not at the base of the fire, okay? Because that will break the fire up and spread it. So we want to be just above it, left and right. Especially if we're using powder or foam, even slightly above it, so that it comes down on top of the fire, okay? Now we're going to use all of the extinguisher. We're not going to just use a little bit because it's gone out and stopped. We're going to use all of it until it stops working, okay? Then we're going to come out of the compartment. We're going to lie the extinguisher down with the pin by the side of it, and then we're going to push it to the side of the passageway so that it's not a trip hazard. And then we're going to wait for the fire team and myself, and you'll be able to give us a brief on what you've done. Okay? Happy? All good. Fantastic. That means we can skip a lot of this presentation now because there's a safety on here who knows nothing about firefighting and is doing it all wrong. Okay?
Imagine you.
We won't play this video because it's all wrong. So, what we did was we dissected the video just to show you what he did wrong.
Yeah.
So what's he done wrong there? From what I've told you, what's he done wrong?
He hold the metal thing.
He's held the metal handle.
He opened wide.
The door is open too far. Yeah? Okay, so that's wrong. Okay. What's he done wrong here? What should he be doing?
Shouting.
He should be shouting.
He should be shouting.
He should be knocking on doors and evacuating. Yeah? All those cabin doors look open to me, but he's not evacuating. What should he be looking for?
Any of the
Manual call point and
call to the bridge.
and a telephone is what he should be looking for. And then once he's done that, he's going to go and find
The
the
fire
extinguisher in the fire locker. Yeah, cool. Okay, good. Fantastic. And what did he do wrong here?
It's pointing to the bottom.
Yeah, it's pointing at the base of the fire, so that's wrong. And when he tested it, he pointed it out the floor. Okay? So that's wrong as well. What did he do wrong here? He's put it in the middle of the passageway, so everybody can trip over it. Yeah, he could have put it anywhere but there. Alright? Cool. So, fixed firefighting systems on the ship. We have these wonderful things here. Anybody tell me what these are?
Water sprinklers.
No, it's not a water sprinkler. Anybody tell me what it is?
High fog.
It's high fog. Yeah? High fog, high pressure water mist. Okay? And the way these work, they have a sensor in them. And inside there's a glass bulb. The glass bulbs are different colour, depicting different thicknesses of glass. Different thicknesses of glass depict what temperature they break at. This one is orange in colour, designed to break at 68 degrees. Okay? When the bulb breaks, the high fog water mist comes out. Everybody thinks that high fog water mist is the water that puts the fire out. It does have a slight cooling element, but what mist does is it takes the oxygen out of the room. Okay? And if you look how many high fog dispensers are just in this room, I think there's about 10. The oxygen would go out of here very quickly and we would need to leave. Okay? Now, if we had this bulb in the galley, it would break all the time. That's why we need a different thickness bulb in the galley. And if we had the galley one in the engine room, that would break all the time. The one in the engine room is designed to break at 108 degrees, because that's the hottest place on the ship. Okay? Now, water sprinklers we do have. They look very similar to that. It's easy to make the mistake, but there's no glass bulb on a water sprinkler. Water just comes out. Somebody stuck like a coin on the bottom of it. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. The water hits the coin, it then disperses in a circular shape and drops down. It's the water droplets that put the fire out. Okay? Now it's really important in our storerooms that we don't block these high fogs or these sprinkler heads. Okay? So you will find in your storerooms either a red line that's been painted around the outside, or you will find two sticks. A small red one and a long red one. Okay? The small red one you put at the bottom of your sprinkler head or your high fog head, and the bottom of that stick, you can't put anything in that room higher than that. The long stick you put at the bottom of your short stick horizontally, and you draw an imaginary circle around your sprinkler head. Again, you can't store anything inside that circle, okay? Because if it catches fire, it won't be affected by the high fog or by the sprinkler. Now, the other things we have on the ship are CO2 flooding, and we have foam flooding, okay, which can be operated remotely from the bridge, or can be operated manually from outside the compartment that we want to flood. The other thing we have is a detection system on the ship. So we have smoke detectors, flame detectors, heat detectors, we have cameras, okay? And they are very, very, very good first aid sensors. All of those fires that I talked about before on the Queen Mary, they were all picked up very early by those sensors. And first aid response dealt with all of those fires. We didn't need to go to crew load once, okay? That's how good the detection systems are. Pretty good job, really. Okay. All right, good. So, survival craft. You are going to be familiar.
Here you can see an example of a typical Carnival UK survival craft. There are other types among the fleet, which we will look at shortly. SOLAS requires certain markings, including the lifeboat number, name, and the port of registry of the ship. They must also show the craft's dimensions and capacity. Make sure you know the maximum capacity of each survival craft. Survival craft hold life-saving equipment.